We need to have a chat, my girl, because a little birdie told me that you have been struggling lately with your sense of self-worth and your confidence. And the reason that I feel called to talk about this today is because this is something that I struggled with for years. It took me so long to actually get into a place where I feel worthy and confident to actually pursue the life of my dreams. And this is something that it is so evident that women struggle with these days. And if this is something that I could finally figure out, then it has become my life mission to help other women do the same. So if this is something that you've been struggling with, you feel like you are not worthy to go after the life of your dreams, or perhaps you struggle with confidence, then this video is for you, my girl. So sit down, grab your favorite drink, let's have some tea together, let's have some chat. This is not going to be a step-by-step and follow these 5 steps, blah, blah, blah kind of video. This is going to just be a conversation between you and me so you can start working up and building that confidence that you were, by the way, born with. It is your birthright to have a strong sense of self-worth and confidence. It is your birthright to have abundance. It is your birthright to live the life of your dreams. But before we dive in, I want to say welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather. I created this channel to help women like you step into the higher version of yourself that you have always felt called to step into your authentically aligned self. So today I felt so called to talk about self-worth and confidence. Why? Because that is something that I struggled with for years. And that's honestly something really hard and vulnerable for me to admit. It honestly took me admitting, first of all, that this was something that I was struggling with in order for me to really start addressing it. And that's exactly why I'm so happy that you're here, so we can start addressing where this is actually coming from and how to overcome it. I also want to share with you some resources that have really helped me on my own journey and that have really helped me step into my truth, into my true I am. Because truthfully, my entire journey really started with when I had my spiritual awakening back when I was about 30 years old. Now, before you scroll away, this video is not about trying to bring you into a spiritual awakening if that's not for you, but that truly is where this whole journey started for me. And here's the thing, I'm gonna start with a really uncomfortable truth that a lot of people, especially me, feel so uncomfortable admitting, is that we are worthy. We truly are worthy. We are worthy of anything that we want in this life. Why does that feel so uncomfortable to say? Why does it feel so uncomfortable to say what our true dreams and desires and goals are in this life? Why? Because of programming. So that is a big one that we're going to talk about today. Because here's the truth. We are limitless. We are pure energy. We are the co-creators of our life. And once that actually starts to click and you realize everything that I do is actually a choice, that's when everything starts to change. But, and this is a big but, we are programmed essentially from the first day that we step foot on this beautiful, expansive planet. We are programmed. We are programmed by our parents, we are programmed by society, we're programmed by teachers, we're programmed by our friends, we are programmed by everyone, and it is based on their own personal beliefs about the world, about themselves, and they put that onto us. And once this really starts to click, you will start to realize a lot of your beliefs about yourself, your personality, a lot of it isn't even your own. So the biggest thing that I want you to start doing is when you have these thoughts about yourself, these beliefs, these self-deprecating thoughts, you need to start observing these thoughts, because here's the truth. The crazy truth is the observer cannot be the observed. I want you to think about that. The observer cannot be the observed. If you are able to think and observe your thoughts, that means that you are not your thoughts. This was such a mind-blowing revelation for me when I was having all of these thoughts about my worthiness and about my confidence. I can't do that. I'm not capable of that. I'm not that person. I can't do that. But I started to learn about how to observe my thoughts, and I realized if I'm able to observe these thoughts, then I can't be these thoughts. And here's the truth. If these thoughts and these beliefs were us, then they would be around 24/7. But the thing about our thoughts is they show up and then they leave. Meaning if they can leave, they are not you. They are not your personality. They are not your truth. And this leads us into the first book that I read that completely changed the game for me. So this is a book called Change Your Mind by R.J. Spina. His story, his entire story is absolutely incredible, but this book focuses on how you can deprogram your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is what is leading to those thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back, that are controlling what you think about yourself, hence your sense of self-worth and your confidence in yourself. That is coming from your subconscious beliefs, from your programming. This book, it offers you exercises on how you can observe your thoughts and break them down into where they are actually coming from and what they actually mean. When I started doing these exercises and actually breaking down my thoughts about myself, I started to realize they are not my own. It was reading this book and it was doing these exercises that really started to change the game for me. What I love about this book is it focuses on you, the I am, the true, authentic you. Before all the programming, this gets down to the depth of the authentic you. Now, think about it for a second. If you are struggling with self-worth and you are struggling with confidence, where is that coming from? That is not coming from the truest you, the truest authentic essence that is you. Because the truth is, you are whole, you are worthy, you are that confident person, you are that person who can go out and do anything that you want. You can absolutely create the life of your dreams. It is those small voices, it is that ego inside your mind that is holding you back. So it is your job to, rather than blame everything on your environment, blame it on the people around you, blame, it is your responsibility to go inward and start dissecting those thoughts. Where are these coming from? And start deprogramming and unassociating from these belief patterns that you are holding. For example, when I was younger, I hated reading. I hated it. Absolutely hated reading. Now, did I hate reading or did I hate the books that were forced on me in the school system? It was probably the latter, because I actually really enjoyed reading. However, I can tell you how many times my mom always says, oh, you always hated reading, you always hated books. And because of the amount of times that I was told that, I started to believe that that was part of my identity, that was part of my personality, that I hated books. So what did I do? I would align with that version of myself. I would align with that version of my personality who hated books. Hated going to the library, didn't need to get a library card, never bought books, wasn't interested in books, wasn't interested in reading, until one day I decided to challenge that. I picked up a book, it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, way back in the day, and I read it and I blasted through it. And I realized I actually love reading. Now I'm at the point where I'm reading 4 or 5 books at a time because I am obsessed with reading, and I look forward to, at the end of the night when I get to read, I just love reading now. So I completely deprogrammed that version of myself. I stopped associating with that version of myself, and I realized I love books. I love reading. I now have a huge collection of books. I have my Kindle on the go. I love audiobooks. So what I'm saying is, how many versions of yourself, of your personality, of your beliefs, of your identity are you identifying with that aren't even you? When was the last time that you actually questioned these beliefs that you hold that aren't even you? So when it comes to your self-worth and your confidence, are these even you? Where are these coming from? Has someone made a comment to you in the past about you being a shy person, about you never being able to be someone who can attain those dreams, attain those goals? How many things have been told to you and imprinted in your mind, your subconscious mind, that you now believe are your own identity? It is becoming aware of these thoughts and beliefs that completely change the game for us. So what I want to challenge you to do from now on, when you catch these thoughts coming over that are associated with your worth, with your confidence, I want you to stop and ask yourself, where are these beliefs coming from? Are these really my own? I want you to observe these thoughts. Just observe them. Don't judge them, just observe them. And start asking yourself if you can pinpoint where these came from, because 9 times out of 10, you'll realize these didn't even come from you. And it is in this observation and this release and this detachment from these thoughts that will completely change your identity of yourself. The other thing that is so important to remember is that you are damn well entitled to the life of your dreams, the version of your life that you want to live, as much as anyone else is. And I know that that's actually uncomfortable to hear, because I was so uncomfortable in hearing that for the longest time. I always thought that I was just a small town girl and I could never have that life that I wanted. But you need to know that you are having those thoughts, those desires for a reason. I know that you have this burning feeling, this burning desire inside of you for something greater for a reason, because that version of you is already in existence. That version of you is calling out to you and saying it gets to be so good. Let me ask you this. What seems more undesirable? Living your life the way that you're living it now and continuing going like that for 5 to 10 years, or challenging yourself to challenge your identity, challenge your belief system in order to move towards that higher version of you, that life that you've always dreamed of? I am telling you right now, that confident and that worthy version of you already exists. She does. All it takes is stripping away those beliefs about yourself, that identity that you are holding on to, that you are clinging to, that your ego is clinging to for comfort, in order to step into that new version of you. Once you recognize that you are worthy of any life that you desire, your entire world starts to open up. And here's the other thing too. When you establish what your worthiness is, you will start to let go of the things in your life that you recognize are no longer worth your energy. This can be friends, this can be relationships, this can be your living situation, your job. Because here's the cool thing that starts to happen. When you start to let go of all these things that you recognize are no longer worthy of you, things that are more in alignment with that higher energy that you are starting to step into will start to find you. For example, a girlfriend of mine who was just married decided to step out of that relationship because she felt it was no longer in alignment with her. She felt that they had outgrown each other and there was just no moving in alignment with each other anymore. There was something that had happened in the relationship that she just decided, you know what? I am worth more than this. This relationship is no longer worthy of me, because I will not stand for the actions in this relationship. And she decided to exit the relationship, to leave, because she finally stepped into her self-worth. She finally recognized, I deserve better than this. And in doing so, in leaving that behind and in stepping into her worthiness, the people, the experiences, the friendships that found her almost immediately was almost unbelievable. Because here's the thing, when you start to say yes to you, the universe starts to say yes to you. Once you start to get rid of this excess, this stuff that is taking up your energy, that is taking up space in your life, when you start to step away from that and say yes to yourself, the universe recognizes that you are choosing you. And it will start to align opportunities that you are aligning with, that you are calling in, and it will start to bring those into your life. But it won't do it until you make the decision first of what you are worthy of. It is up to you to start saying no to things that you know are not worthy of you. It's not you who isn't worthy of things, it is things that are not worthy of you. That is you choosing yourself. And once you step into that power, once you start to step into that energy, the opportunities, you will start to watch your world change in front of you. But it is an inner game. It starts with inner recognition first. The mirror does not smile back at you. You are responsible of smiling first. I hope that this makes sense for you. I hope that this made something click. I hope that you start to recognize that you are the worthy, abundant woman that you came here to be. You came here to do incredible things. I know that because you would not be watching this video, and you certainly wouldn't have made it to the end of this video if you weren't. Be that person who tells yourself, I am worthy, I am confident, I'm the creator of my own life, I am abundant, I am beautiful, and I can do whatever I want to do in this lifetime. You are amazing. I am in your corner. I'm here to support you, and I hope you have the most beautiful day, and I will see you in the next video.